Welcome back to Forever United TV, live here from Manchester. Sorry at the start of the show, it's going to be a little bit different today because I should have pre-warned you yesterday that Ruben Amorim is holding a press conference this morning. This morning simply because they are 7 hours in front. They're obviously in Malaysia right now ahead of their game tomorrow in the post-season tour against that, I can't even remember who it is. We're playing, I think it's some form of, it's Korean 11 or something like that. I can't even remember, but Manchester United's first pre-season or post-season tour, whichever way you look at it, is being played tomorrow. Ruben's got a press conference. We've got all of your news we want to bring up early doors today before the quotes come through, because a lot of the journalists that we're reporting the stuff that we're going to talk about at the start of this show, are actually over in Malaysia, and they'll be the ones asking them questions to Ruben this morning. So wanting to put both of these together and do something a little bit different for you this morning, take advantage of that early starts in the press conference. Well, we're normally live as well, so starting a tiny bit earlier just to get through all of the news, talking about Delap and Manchester United's push and proposal to Delap to try and win him over to Chelsea. We'll get through that as well. Bruno situation, Garnacho and Mainu situations also. Updates on them for Manchester United and everything to get through this morning in that also. I did want to just say quickly before we started the show last night, obviously, as we were live, there were horrendous scenes in Liverpool after their parade. First and foremost, we are a football family. We know that there have been many serious injuries from that incident. Nobody likes it. Nobody wants it in football. It was a horrible thing to watch when I seen it on TV. I just want to say, I hope everybody is okay. I know a lot aren't, but let's hope that it isn't as serious for them many that are injured from that horrendous incident last night in Liverpool. Absolutely shocking scenes there. So from all the football family, first and foremost, hopefully everyone is okay or the best they can be after that absolute horror show last night. And yes, that's from our Manchester United fan base to Liverpool fans as well. And let's move forward with everything else that's going on, shall we, everyone? Before the quotes come out, we're expecting Ruben to speak in the next 15 minutes or so. So we're going to bring you all of them quotes, all of the questions posed to Ruben. Mason Mount is sat with him in the press conference as well, so it could be an interesting one to see what he's got to say as well. We have a lot of Manchester United Academy players out there that we may be able to get a glimpse of as well in these couple of games. So tomorrow we'll be covering that game in a watch-along. Kickoff is 1:15 English time, so make sure you tuned in for that one tomorrow as well. So ahead of that, Ruben speaking, so let's see what interesting questions come his way, particularly around everything that's going on with Liam Delap right now, which is where we want to start tonight's show, because Rob Dawson, ESPN, who is over in Malaysia actually, and this is why this story broke out late last night because of that 7-hour time difference, with all of the journals being over there in preparation for Manchester United's post-season tour. What we're looking at here is Manchester United's proposal to try and win Chelsea. Now, we heard about the story yesterday regarding Liam Delap maybe preferring Chelsea over Manchester United. Now, what we do know is that Manchester United have got an agreement in place, like maybe 4 other clubs, I think it is. So the news that personal terms have agreed didn't really hit the mark last night with a lot of United fans. The headline looks great. The headline looks like Liam Delap is effectively saying yes to Manchester United. It's not the case. Let's just make that very clear from the start. Liam Delap has not agreed terms to sign for Manchester United. He's agreed terms in principle, or there's an agreement in place. The actual process of going through, if he decides to pick Manchester United, will move very quickly, because United have informed Ipswich, like many other clubs, that they are willing to pay the fee. And the actual form of the deal and everything that needs to be done is pretty much in place and agreed already. He's happy with the terms, basically, what Manchester United are offering. He's just got to decide where he wants to play football, with what competitions he's in, as we've always known. I still stand by it being strange that we're actually going all this way for Liam Delap after what Ruben Amorim said about Victor Gyökeres, and not signing players that just want to come to United because we're in the Champions League. Liam Delap is in the same scenario, in the same boat, so I just find that a little bit weird, to be honest, and I'm not completely on board with it for that reason. But Manchester United's contract offer to Liam Delap is different and is apparently higher than everybody else's. You'd expect that to be the way with Manchester United. We desperately need a forward, and we'll go through the options after Liam Delap in a moment, actually, because there is more stories about other options United are looking at. But Liam Delap, and obviously that contract that Manchester United have put on the table, substantial wages, could be up to 150 grand a week wages, is what we're hearing on that one as well. Manchester United can offer Liam Delap more game time than anybody else in the offing right now, apart from Everton. I mean, to be honest, if we lose out to Everton in a Liam Delap chase when they've not got European football, I feel like giving up, to be honest. And that's not just trying to make a headline out of nothing. It will feel like there's no point. You cannot lose to Everton. Look, the big players in play here are obviously Maresca, who's worked with Delap, and Wilcox, who's worked with Delap as well. We talked about that yesterday in depth. The difference with United and Chelsea is Chelsea will have all of the Champions League football to play next season. No drama there for them in terms of what they can offer him, but Chelsea will be going for other players as well, and he will be in a squad rotation system at Chelsea. Manchester United are going to make Liam Delap their number one target. Now, this is concerning to some Manchester United fans alone, because this means that there isn't another forward or a number 9 coming in past Liam Delap. This is what we're hearing now, and all of the reports are going down the same road. It's Delap or one other striker if he doesn't sign. It doesn't look like there is going to be another number 9 brought in this summer. It's focused around 10s, and then it's going to be into the 8 situation, as in a new midfielder coming for Manchester United. That's what we're hearing now. And like I've said before, and I've always gone along the lines of Manchester United need 2 strikers. Liam Delap cannot be the number 1 striker. But this is what United's push is on Delap. This is the proposal that United are putting forward, is that Liam Delap is going to be Manchester United's main striker. He is their number 1 target. They've made it clear to Liam Delap that he is their number 1 target, and he is going to be that sole striker going into next season. The first pick going straight into Manchester United's 11. Now, that alone is waving the red flag for a lot of Manchester United fans. I know it is, because we need more than just Liam Delap. It has to be more than just Liam Delap. But it doesn't look like United have got the finances or the power to shift certain players on to make this happen. Manchester United, obviously, if we move Rasmus Højlund on, may go back into the market for another striker. But at the moment, that's still at stalemate. And until this tour is done and United get into the real business end of this transfer window after next weekend, then we're not going to know any further on that one. So as it stands, United on Delap is, you are number 1. You're not going to be rotated with a Nicholas Jackson. United have got a domestic season to play out. 1 game a week, pretty much. 2 games at max at certain stages. The FA Cup doesn't kick in until, obviously, the new year, January. We've got the League Cup, but that is really covering, a small portion of the first 4 months of this season. There isn't many games for United to play. Delap's going to be number 1 striker. That's a proposal to Liam Delap from Manchester United. Higher wages, number 1 striker, not going to be left out in the dark, not going to be rotated as much as you would with other strikers at Chelsea. Obviously, Newcastle are very interested, but he is going to play second fiddle continuously behind Isaac and isn't a striker that would like to move either side. So the situation he's got is, does he want to go and compete with the likes of strikers and forwards at Chelsea and Newcastle in the Champions League, where he's not going to be number 1? Or do you come to Manchester United and be number 1 striker? That's the proposal, and that's what Manchester United push is. Jason Wilcox, obviously, like we've said before, is at the forefront of this deal, and United are confident that their contract offer and their proposal on the table for Delap is stronger than anybody else's. By all accounts, by everything that's been said, it does look, personally, and obviously money and, like I said, playing time wise, it's better than everybody else's apart from Everton. But like I said at the start, if you cannot beat Everton in a race to sign Liam Delap, then it's time to really give up. It is. That would be astonishing if that happens. So the way that Manchester United have sold this, what it seems like, is by saying to Liam Delap, and it's the only way you could actually, whichever way you look at it, when you look into details of what people have said and what journalists have said, that the only option Manchester United have got now in this stage after losing to Spurs is the game time. They're always going to be competitive money-wise. We always know this with Manchester United anyway. The contract will be a 6-year one, so it's full commitment to Liam Delap. It's 6 years. You're going to be number one striker this season for Manchester United and have the chance to hold that position down and cement yourself as Man United's number one. If you are not going to accept that, then times are changing. Times are drastically changing at Manchester United, if that is the case. That I would find astonishing. And that's not me being red-tinted glasses either. I would be absolutely amazed if Liam Delap turned that deal down for Manchester United. I would be absolutely astonished. So just to clarify on everything, there may be people just joining in now who normally start at 8 o'clock with us. We are going a little bit early today, everybody, because we're going to bring up Ruben's press conference quotes as well. They're going to be coming throughout the show. And so that's going to be interesting to read what he says there. The journalists that are running this Liam Delap report now are in that press conference. So that's why I've done it a little bit earlier, just to see if anything has been said. Look, it might not be, but we wanted to give it a chance anyway and just run with it. So, yeah, we're starting a little bit earlier. Manchester United's push for Liam Delap and their proposal to him is number one striker. Doesn't look like another one's going to come in. You will be Manchester United's go-to number one player, play out throughout the season. There's going to be no one else coming. You're going to have the academy players coming behind you. If United sold Rasmus Højlund, there may be a possibility of one more coming in. And Manchester United are up there with their higher wage brackets in terms of personal terms than everybody else. Chelsea, Newcastle and Everton have all got agreements in place with Liam Delap for their proposals to Liam Delap and Ipswich, all willing to meet the £30 million release clause. That's all done. So United agreeing personal terms, like Rob Dawson said of ESPN, is just the same as all of the other teams. They've all agreed terms now, and it's just counting the days down to when he actually does make this decision. It is apparently going to be this week. So we've got, 3 days left after today. If nothing's said today, 3 more days, United's pre-season tour will be done, because that will be Friday lunchtime when we finish our last game of this tour. And we will know exactly where Liam Delap is and what he's thinking. So that's where Manchester United are at, and that's the proposal on the table for Liam Delap. We talked about Bryan Mbeumo last night as well, and where United are at with him. It's nowhere near down the lines of anywhere close, this deal. This is a deal that is going to be brought up when Manchester United sell a forward. And the forwards that are in question are obviously Marcus Rashford and Alejandro Garnacho. Both are pure profit, 100% profit players. And Bryan Mbeumo would come in off the back of that. Thomas Frank has already said that Bryan Mbeumo will go if somebody meets that price tag. Bryan Mbeumo will leave Brentford this summer. That's a definite. So Manchester United, above everybody else in the number 10 role, and this is the next bit of news I wanted to talk through, he's ahead of Diblin, he's ahead of Semenyo, he's ahead of Mastantuono, he's ahead of Shirkey as well. Bryan Mbeumo is Man United's next number 10. But it works if Garnacho is sold. It works with Marcus Rashford being sold. Don't forget, Delap and Cunha are covered. It doesn't matter. And I don't think Bryan Mbeumo will be completed until after June, which is the next financial year, which starts on July 1st. That's what we're looking at right now with Bryan Mbeumo and the situation. We covered it in detail last night on what's actually going on with United. There is concrete interest. Romano confirmed it. United want him and are willing to bid for Bryan Mbeumo, whether or not they want to pay the $50 million. But just to get this right, Bryan Mbeumo is the cheapest of the 10s that are available for Manchester United. Bournemouth want 60 to 70 for Semenyo. Southampton want more than 50 million, as we know, for Tyler Diblin. They're 2 other players below Bryan Mbeumo. And now we're hearing as well, and reports coming out about Ryan Shirkey, that is going to be 40 million plus for Ryan Shirkey. And it's not as cheap as what was first thought. That's another report that's come out from last night, which is interesting to say the least, in terms of what we thought Ryan Shirkey was going to be as a cheaper option. It's not quite the case on that one, so that's going to be interesting as well. Keep your comments coming in and let me know what you think about Manchester United's proposal to Liam Delap and what we're offering him. Should that be enough? Honestly, if there is a young English striker that's turning Manchester United down for what we have offered him, because of the sake of not playing in the Champions League or Europe this season, then it's time to really look at this Premier League and the world of football really changing. Because I think that would be significant if that happens. It really would. Right, let's just see. Several people taking questions, press conference. Right, okay, so the press conference isn't far away. The quotes are due to come out from Ruben Amorim. I was saying this morning, again, if you have just joined us, we've gone a little bit early because Ruben's talking over in Malaysia. He's got a press conference there now, and obviously a lot of the journalists that were reporting a lot of the stuff regarding the transfer targets are there in that press conference. So we'll see if any weird questions are asked. We'll see if there's any questions that are sort of directed in the transfer sense. So we'll get through that. So I want to get your comments first of all before all they start coming in. Dwayne says Visa and Mbumo plus Cunha could be good. I don't know if Brentford will be looking to sell Visa and Mbumo. I think it's sell Mbumo and reinvest money into what they've got there. Obviously, Chelsea are also looking at João Pedro from Brighton as well. He's a target apparently for Manchester United, again, as another option is one of the strikers. And that's probably what we'll talk about as well later on in this show, because Manchester United's options, if Delap does turn us down, are very thin on the ground in terms of what United are looking for, which apparently is Premier League proven strikers. Now, that is very difficult to get hold of. We said last night, Ekitike, players like this, it's a bit of a worry, it's a bit of a concern. Jonathan David, the inexperienced Premier League strikers is where United are worrying, which is why there's an emphasis on the talent in the number 10 position as well, and versatile players for United. Data-driven. The Mbumo deal, by the way, and the interest in Mbumo is data-driven. That's the report that's come out as well. It's being because of what he gives on the pitch. That's the interest. I mean, obviously, you've looked at the stature and you look at where he is and how many goals he's actually scored. So 20 Premier League goals this season. I mean, seriously, you cannot turn that down. That is a quality player in a number 10 role. And that, I think, is why United are looking at options in 10 and 9 for their goals to come in. I don't think, and what I'm reading and what I'm listening to, is they're not necessarily overthinking the number 9 role. It really isn't as much of a priority as the 10s, it would seem, because I think from what's being said is Manchester United's reports and scouting is that their options in the number 10 role are better deals for Manchester United and are better quality than the players available in the number 9 role. And they're not going to jump the gun and do another Rasmus Højlund situation regarding Manchester United buying a striker that's unproven. That is not going to happen by all accounts. So, be interesting to see how that develops as well. Ant with a super chat says, Wyquibble re Osimhen just cleared Linda, Ericsson and Evans' wages. Likely to clear Sancho, Rashi and Anthony soon. If he gets us Europe, it's worth it. I would agree with you on that one, Ant. Myself included. I would go and buy Osimhen if he wanted to come to United. I would spend that extra bit of money on wages because I think he would be the difference in getting United at least back into the Europa League. And he would, in a season where Manchester United haven't got European distraction, absolutely be a weapon for this football club. He really would. The Premier's going back to physicality and athletes, says Dwayne. Yeah, that is exactly what Manchester United's target player is. The physicality, the athleticism, getting up and down the pitch, the control of games and the skillful players. Yes, they are important and obviously play their part in everything, but still, what we're looking at is Manchester United are looking for more in a Ruben system. The players that we've got right now, as we know, don't fit into it. And just to keep you up to date with everything that is going on, the press conference is just about to start. Like I said before, Mason Mount is next to Ruben Amorim. We're going to see if any questions are sent across there to Ruben or are asked to Ruben regarding the transfer situation. Be interesting to see if he touches on any of the academy players that are out there on the pre-season tour as well, on the post-season tour. I get used to saying that. Manchester United sources have downplayed suggestions that Liam Delap is being targeted due to financial constraints. Instead, it is believed that the preference for Delap over the likes of Victor Gyökeres stems primarily from the shift in transfer policy, prioritising, and this is the big one again, obviously prioritising proven young Premier League stars before pursuing overseas players unless they are considered world-class or exciting talents. Gyökeres, Osimhen, That's why we're looking at them types of players. Delap playing style characterised by physicality and goal-scoring prowess aligns with United's needs. The Red Devils highly value how the 22-year-old has been involved in nearly 40% of Ipswich Town's goals in the Premier League and believe he will make a significant impact when paired with the likes of Bruno Fernandez. Now, that there, for me, says everything that it just goes over what I just said. Their push to sign Liam Delap is building him up to be a player that is going to be a Manchester United star of the future and a star now. You're coming straight in and this position is yours. We have scouted you and we want you in our starting 11 and we want you to be the main man. That's United's push and that's how United are selling Manchester United to Liam Delap right now. You're number one, nobody else. That's it. That's what it looks like I just said. And that's come from The Athletic and Athletic's report on Manchester United scouting, how they looked into the runs of Liam Delap, how they looked into what he brings, how he fits into what Manchester United are doing, how United are playing. That is everything that United are looking at in a striker, and that's what it's going to be. There is a small delay on the press conference, as expected. We're over in Malaysia, so we are going to crack on with the rest of the news just to keep you updated on that one. But yeah, in terms of Manchester United and the outgoings, so we covered number 9, Liam Delap. Keep your comments coming in on him. Obviously, we have got we are looking at the 10 situation. We covered Brian Mbeumo as well. He is United's top target, and when Garnacho goes, which he will go, Brian Mbeumo is going to be right at the top because for reasons like we've just described there, with Liam Delap being right at the top of the data analysis side of things, proven Premier League player in how he plays, Brian Mbeumo is being scouted for the same reasons like we just said. So them two are why they're Prem proven and their data aligns with what Manchester United want, like Cunha. 3 Premier League proven players. They're United's top targets. I think that has been set now and it's becoming a lot clearer. It's Cunha, it's Delap, it's Mbeumo. Off the back of Garnacho being sold as well. Now, the update on Garnacho is obviously from yesterday as well. Nothing has changed there. He's on the tour. And until we return from the tour on Friday evening, early Saturday, then nothing is going to move forward with Garnacho. He's on the tour. He's expected to be involved in there in the games as well, from what Ruben Amorim said after the game against Aston Villa on Sunday. So Garnacho is basically... Garnacho's representatives will be looking and meeting with Giovanni Manna, the sporting director at Napoli. Napoli looks like the favourite bet at the moment, but we are waiting for Chelsea's season to finish off in the Conference League so we can get a definite on Jadon Sancho and whether or not they are going to go in for Garnacho also. Because if Manchester United do sell Garnacho, and like we know, he is available to everybody who was looking at him in January as well, including Chelsea. If they do indeed send Sancho back, if they do sell Felix and get rid of Mudryk, then Garnacho, like we said before, could be a top target for them. Garnacho would fund Brian Mbeumo. We've said this yesterday, and a lot more people have started reporting on that as well, that Brian Mbeumo is United's top target when Garnacho is sold. And again, Brian Mbeumo, a top target for Champions League clubs, like last night's show when we were talking about that, is the big concern right now for Manchester United, in that we just don't have that to offer these players. And a player at that stage of his career, he isn't a Cunha who loves United and is a fan of United. Brian Mbeumo is a player at the peak of his powers right now who's ready for the next big move, and he wants European football. Can United convince someone like Mbeumo, like we're trying to with Delap, to say, look, next season we're in Europe. Give us this season. That's the only way United make these deals happen. There has to be a clause where them players are released if Manchester United don't make European football the following season. It has to be the way that United move forward. Mark Garner with the super chat. Thank you, mate. Adam, I love the shows. Keep up the quality news. Keep the red flag flying high. Always, Mark. Thank you for that, buddy. Really appreciate that. Make sure you do get your comments in. Make sure you have subscribed to Forever United TV, keeping you up to date with everything. Who else is up at this time bringing you press conferences from Malaysia? Well, it's not started yet because United are always delayed. But we're bringing you the news on top of the press conferences and everything going on at United. So thank you, everyone, for being part of the show. Pop a like on the video if you're enjoying the content, please, everyone. And let's move forward. Well over 2,000 in the room with us. Again, absolutely love that. We will come to the comment section as well. It is an extended show today, everybody, as well. So don't worry. We're not going to be cutting it short. Sometimes when we do earlier shows, it's a bit shorter. No, we're running right through all the way as close to 9 o'clock as we can. So make sure you get your comments in. We will have a section because we are bringing up the press conference as well. So let's get into the rest of the news while we can before that actually starts. And I will bring you everything that is actually happening and breaking while we are live. All of the updates as well. Just like Real Madrid's pursuit of Alvaro Fernandez, which does affect Manchester United. They are very close now, according to reports in Spain, to signing Alvaro Carreras Fernandez. That deal will obviously release the compensation for Manchester United, which goes a long way again. And in fact, could be the difference for Manchester United going in and making an early bid for Bryan Mbeumo. Like 20 million quid, 100% profit is huge for Manchester United. As we know, 20 million would buy you Matheus Cunha right now. That's the first instalment payment for Cunha this summer. That's how big this is. So if you break that down in a £50 million move for Bryan Mbeumo, United don't need to sell players to sign Cunha. Remember that. Alvaro Fernandez could release funds for Manchester United to make an early bid ahead of anybody else for Bryan Mbeumo. That being, if United obviously get Alvaro's money in off Madrid, who are in the Club World Cup, who want to get that deal done before July 1st, the normal transfer window opening and the new financial year starting, like what Newcastle are having to play along with, if United get in early on Mbeumo and say, bang, bang, there you go, Brentford. We want him. This is your commitment. United trying to get these little deals done and done quickly with clubs in the Club World Cup and everything else that's going on in this part of the transfer window. This could give us an advantage in bringing players in. Bryan Mbeumo's wages, Matheus Cunha's wages, Liam Delap's wages, they are all pretty much covered with deals that are going on with Manchester United. Let's not forget, we have just released near 400 grand a week's worth of wages in Johnny Evans, Victor Lindelof, and Christian Eriksen leaving the football club. The room is there to play with, and the wages are not a problem for United. And I think Bryan Mbeumo could be brought in if United get some early deals done in terms of sales. Alvaro, very, very interesting one. That could really be significant for United bringing anybody else in, and that's just come in this morning as well. Alvaro Fernandez now very close to agreeing that deal with Real Madrid. So we'll keep an eye on that as it develops as well. So Manchester United's pursuit of a midfielder is high on the priority list as well. A physical, athletic, ball-controlling midfielder. Now, we've talked about Ederson. I do believe from all of the reports that are going on right now, I don't think, sadly, Ederson is going to be coming to Manchester United. It doesn't look like it's a deal United can get done. Unfortunately, the Champions League and a player of that age is out of Manchester United's reach. I don't want to be talking about it. I don't want to say it because I love him and I think he would be perfect. But again, just like the forward line, Manchester United's recruitment is driven by the younger, proven Premier League players. Adam Wharton is a top target for Manchester United. So too, like it says at the bottom of your screen there, is Eberechi Eze. Now, Eze is thought to be more expensive than Bryan Mbeumo and isn't as high on the list of priorities for United, but a definite target. We're hearing that Bayern Munich are in for Eberechi Eze, which is going to take United out of the equation, I would think, for him. He really, at his age, he's probably looking to move on to, just like Elise did from Palace, to bigger and better things. And to team up with his teammate over in, his former teammate in Bayern Munich, is probably more of an appeal for him. But if United make sales and make sales quickly, we may be able to go in an offer, but there's no guarantee. We're pretty much going to be in the same situation as we would be with Liam Delap. That they've got to decide whether they want to come to United because we haven't got European football. So United's appeal is down to the projects, like we said with Mbeumo, like we just said with Delap. Adam Wharton is a target for Manchester United. Adam Wharton is only going to happen if United sell Bruno Fernandez. I'm just going to tell you that right now. United won't be able to afford Adam Wharton. He is the number one, basically, top pick. But the reality at United obviously tells you that you can't afford him. Crystal Palace are driving a extremely high value on Adam Wharton. And anybody at Crystal Palace right now, like we've said with Jean-Philippe Mateta as well, they're going to be difficult to take away because they've got Europa League football. They are cup winners. They're in a better place than Manchester United. Why would they come to United? They have got a massive job and a massive sell on their hands, Manchester United's recruitment team, when it comes to trying to bring players in. Adam Wharton is definitely a Manchester United top target. He fits what United need and is the most ideal player for United in that number 8 role right now. We haven't heard anything else, like we said last night, on Job Bellingham. That hasn't come anywhere near yet and is not part of Manchester United's immediate transfer plans, it would seem. They are trying to get deals done quickly. Even Rob Dawson said in that report that he was talking about with Liam Delap last night, United are moving extremely fast at the start of this window to try and get as much done as possible to give them a better chance to get the extras later on in the transfer window. And yeah, like we said last night regarding Matheus Cunha, that deal will be announced next week when the transfer window is officially open. Fabrizio Romano saying late last night that obviously the lawyers are looking through the contract, the necessaries. We're getting a day-by-day update on the Matheus Cunha situation right now. He will be signed next week. Right, let's double check on the press conference and see where we're at. Yep, no updates still yet. That's nearly 8:20. Manchester United 20 minutes behind on the press conference right now. We're still going to keep running. We're going to go in live. I just want to get your comments in on this one, actually, regarding Manchester United's targets now. Do you feel like we can convince these players to come without European football? Because that looks like it is what is happening right now. I think Delap is a bully of a striker, says Ruzi. Lots of people bigging up Delap, and people I've seen in the comments section on many of the videos so far saying that Delap is being overlooked by Manchester United fans. Just to clarify again, and this isn't what everybody wants to hear, but Liam Delap would be Manchester United's only number 9 coming in, unless Rasmus Højlund is sold. That is what it's looking like, and that's United's sell on Delap. You're our number 1. You're going to be our top striker next season. It's hard to turn down as a young English striker, isn't it? And you would think that that would be enough, but no, we still wait for the decision. And obviously Maresca and Chelsea have an in with Delap and feel like they have got the upper hand because they've got qualified Champions League now. So, they qualified into the Champions League now. So that's their pull and that's their angle going into this. Let's get a few comments in on this one. Adam, in upcoming season academy players, who can we see playing? And this depends on the window, mate. If United are cutting the squad down to the low 20s, expect to see a lot more academy players probably come through in certain games like the Carabao Cup early stages and things like this. But United will have to take them domestic cups seriously now. So maybe we won't see as many academy players because we've not got as many games. We have to be prepared for that. But likes of Kone, Morehouse, the players, I feel like you're looking at the Fletchers could possibly feature. Obviously, Mantato and Kamasin as well on that right-hand side is a position United could look at. Let's not forget Diego Leon is coming into Manchester United. So what happens to Harry Amass, we're not sure. We will see. But I think it's going to be interesting to see how many of Manchester United's academy players do get in. Ruben Amorim is in position for his press conference. I can see all of the media, the British media are there, so questions are coming his way. Let's see what comes of this. Carl says, I keep saying it, if we're buying 2 10s and a central midfielder, that says Bruno goes. We're fast to buy players to play in his best position 10. If he's that good, why do we need Cunha and another 10? Look, I think United do need to sell Bruno Fernandez if we're going to bring in another 8. That seems to be the one. I agree with what Carl's saying there. I think it is going to be Bruno funds Manchester United bringing in another 8. I do. I bet those who butchered Liam Delap cheered when we signed Anthony and Højlund for 147 million. Probably never heard of them, but they cost a lot of money, so they must be good. See, this is the thing. Manchester United have come out today and said, or the report from United today is that the idea behind Liam Delap coming into Manchester United isn't because it's a cheap deal. Isn't because he's affordable. It's because of the data and what he fits. It's the player profile that Manchester United are buying, not because this deal is cheap, like some people's agendas would drive against the Ineos or Glazer ownership model. Some people will be telling you it's because he's cheap. It's because he's cheap. Well, no, it's not. He's the right striker. If you look at it, Gyökeres is cheap at 55 million. He's still 20 million quid cheaper than what Rasmus Højlund was when we bought him. So it's not because he's cheap. It's because he has got a future, he's younger, and this is what Manchester United data analysis, whether you like it or not, this is what Manchester United are looking at. I'm going to keep checking on the press conference. Is Amorim Mount? I've not said a word yet. Oh, I've been here before in these positions. There'll be the big build-up, the big thank yous, a few presentations before they get a chance to speak. It's a big thing when you go on tours. And there'll be like a gift, something handed over, some memorabilia or something like that will be going on right now. Without me even looking at it, that's what will be happening right now. So just wait it out, and some quotes will be coming out from the press conference as well. Here's a question quickly in the chat before we get the Ruben Amorim press conference questions coming in. Which goalkeeper out of everybody that's been linked to Manchester United would you go for? Get into the comment section right now. We don't have the time to develop a striker like Delap. We need a striker ready to go and score 20 goals. Well, United feel like he's going to score 20 goals, mate. And that's what Manchester United feel is going to come with him. And we don't know, and it's a big if, and it's a big but, and it's a big maybe. But Liam Delap could be that striker that works out for Manchester United. There's no guarantee that any of the other strikers coming in are going to do the job for United. There's no guarantee. Absolutely nothing, and I just feel like that's where Manchester United are at right now. Once bitten, twice shy, you could say, with players that we've spent a lot of money on from abroad before that have come in and failed the football club. That, I think, is what Manchester United are being careful of with it. It looks like Ruben is trying to get settled. His alarm has gone off, apparently. On his phone. He's obviously not set his new time schedules yet over in Malaysia. So, yeah, poor old Ruben. He's right under the spotlight right now. It looks like an absolutely jam-packed press conference room, by the way, as it always is over on the tours. Mr. Dacia Sandero is in the chat and says, "Hi Adam, I do feel that we could see a repeat of the 1992 class of youngsters coming through over the next couple of years. A part of what Amorim was saying about the good times ahead. There definitely is talent coming through United, but it only comes through if we get to business and get rid of players first. And that, I think, is the big push." Just to clarify, anybody who is talking about Manchester United striker options right now and are not happy with Liam Delap, just remember Rasmus Højlund sits 76 on the highest goal scorers in the Premier League, and he is Man United's number one right now. Just let that sink in and know where we're going. Remember that Cunha's coming in. Remember we're bringing another 10 in. We want Mbumo, and Delap behind in front of them two is still a lot better than what Manchester United have got right now. And honestly, he's definitely more than enough to challenge to get into that top 6. As long as we buy an 8 as well. Don't forget the 8s. You cannot forget that number 8 position. That is all important right now for United. Let's see what else we've got in the comment section here. Kyle again. Delap is miles better than Rasmus, but in reality, who else is available? Mateta. We need to forget Gyökeres and Osimhen, I think. A lot of people coming down to that train of thought now and thinking that STEM deals are long gone past. Manchester United need to just get business done and get on with bringing Liam Delap in. If he doesn't, then obviously we have to reset. I personally feel, even with what's been said yesterday by Alex Crook, that Chelsea feel like they're confident. I feel like Manchester United do have this hidden confidence through Jason Wilcox that they can get Liam Delap over the line and they have got their man. I do think that is there with Manchester United right now. My lord, we spent 70 million on Højlund. That's 70 million down the drain. Yep, you could say that, mate. You really could, because he is the worst. Quickly, just an update on Marcus Rashford as well. And that came from Rob Dawson last night when he was talking about Liam Delap. Rob Dawson in this press conference right now, by the way. I think Simon Stone, Samuel Luckhurst, Laurie Whitwell of The Athletic, all of the usual clientele are there. I've seen pictures of them all over in Malaysia, so you can expect some questions coming Ruben's way. I bet he's thinking, God, I've travelled across the other side of the world and they're still here. This is United for you, mate, I'm afraid. Rob Dawson saying Marcus Rashford is still keen on a move to Barcelona. Oh, man, he has to let it go, doesn't he? He really does. He's hoping that they intensify their interest like they did in January, or that interest that they had in him in January, so they can now facilitate a move. Obviously, there is going to be a lot of players leaving Barcelona this summer, and Marcus Rashford is hoping that something happens. We just don't want him lingering around Manchester United. I'm not saying that on my own personal opinion of Marcus Rashford, which you all know. I just think Ruben needs things to move quicker, and we don't need deals dragging out. We could do with some clarity quickly, but I don't think we are going to get that with Marcus Rashford, unfortunately. We will have clarity with Jadon Sancho in terms of what happens after the Conference League final with Chelsea. That decision will come very, very quickly, I feel. Right, questions. Let's see what we've got. Anything coming through? Press conference is finally underway. Right, okay, right. Quotes will be coming out from Ruben Amorim and this press conference in Malaysia very, very shortly, everybody. We're going to keep on talking about the news and bring your comments in as well. We're talking strikers. We're talking what is necessary for Manchester United. I've talked about Adam Wharton if Bruno Fernandez leaves. I think that makes complete sense. Will United spend that much money on a midfielder of the age of Adam Wharton? I think they would. I think if you're looking at data analysis, Manchester United would go the extra yard for someone like Wharton. It's a massive commitment because that's the player that Manchester United are spending the majority of their transfer budget on after selling Bruno Fernandez. And you would need him to actually... be... You'd have to be very good very quickly, especially with that Man United system with Ruben. He has to be a perfect... That, like I said, like goals are goals, and they will change United's fortunes next season, but someone in that number 8 role that comes in, it has to be spot on. Excuse me. In so many different ways. So many different ways. Shirkey has the magic to open defences, which we will need to break low block teams. Oculus, unfortunately for you, mate, I know you're a fan of Shirkey. Anyone who is thinking that Shirkey is the right option, I've said that he would be a good option for United as well. It's been reported that he isn't as cheap as what we first thought. Shirkey is going to cost more than 40 million apparently now, which I think is moving him away from Manchester United's radar. If it's data analysis, and that's how it's been driven, if it's Prem-proven players first and foremost, then Shirkey's down that list. I'm sorry. I'm hearing, and what I've read this morning alone is that both Semenyo and Mastantuono and Tyler Diblin are ahead of Shirkey. I don't think Shirkey is ready. We are interested in, but there was a big thing about Shirkey actually wanting Champions League as well. And United would be interested in him as one of their options. But Champions League football was a reason behind it. Not anymore, obviously, because we lost the bleeding Spurs. So, yeah, we're not getting there on that one. We're not. Gene says, Adam, do you agree that if we go into next season with the current midfield, no matter who we sign up front, we simply won't compete with that midfield? It's been our Achilles heel for 15 years. No, I don't think we will. I don't think we'll fall away completely. I think we will be better because we'll have more goals. Do I believe that we need another midfielder still low? Yes, I do. I think we do. We cannot rely on Bruno, Agate and Casemiro. The report from Casemiro is he doesn't want to leave. He's back in the Brazilian squad. He's happy as Larry. And by the way, Anthony back in the Brazil squad, Casemiro back in the Brazil squad, and Matheus Cunha is in the Brazil squad. So officially, you could say 3 Man United players have just made it back into the Brazil squad right now, because they are all officially pretty much, if you add Cunha to it, Man United players right now. So, yeah, I feel like we are going to need to bring in another midfielder just to add to that, mate. I don't think we're going to be... If we're bringing them forwards, it will make United better. That's what I'm saying. But we need to be even better than that, I feel, to really challenge for where we need to be. And that does include a number 8. We cannot ignore that position. It has to be the next priority once Man United get the 9 and the 10 in place. Even if we had to stop and not buy another 10 because we needed an 8, I would do that. I would do that. We need the 8 in. Amorim has just said, I have a phone always on silent, especially in this occasion. It's a house alarm when I'm away. I like to control my kids. Ruben there making joke about about his alarm going off before the press conference started. Just a nice little tone settler, you could say, really, on that one. But yeah, Ruben apologises for his alarm going off in the press conference. He says, first of all, I want to apologise for the house alarm. It's amazing to see, even in difficult seasons, to see how many fans this club has. It's our duty to be here. It's a pleasure. They are outside following this club for many years, and it's really important to have that connection. It makes this club one of the best clubs in the world, so we are happy to be here. I see it, first of all, every game we play, we have a big responsibility. We want to respect all this attention, all the kindness from everybody. We want to have a good performance, and we have a lot to do. Like you saw this season, if there is any game to be played, we are going to use it to improve the team. We have almost our full squad here. Mazraoui had an injury on Sunday, but the rest are here. We also have young kids that have to understand what it means to play for Manchester United. It's an important moment for us to play this game. That was a mouthful, wasn't it, to get through as a first comment? But what Ruben says there, I think, is important. The kids that are coming, he talks about the kids as the academy players that are with him right there, as it's important to understand what it's like to play for Manchester United, giving them that experience of how big the club is, how important it is. You're not just going to walk into this team. It's a post-season tour, and everybody is there playing. It's not just taking this opportunity to play kids. Like, the first team players have to show and be there, and they are there to show that Manchester United appreciate this worldwide fan base. If there is one manager that I think, post Alex Ferguson, that has got this club and understands how big it is Ruben Amorim, I feel. And comments like that, I feel, are proof of that. And I think it's exactly what needs to be. I think what needs to be at the front, first and foremost, what every player needs to understand about Manchester United, how big it is. And then you can start to mould that player in and gradually bring them through. I think that's what he's talking about there with the youngsters. Benefit of no European football could be an advantage to perform better and build the core of the future. It is something to take advantage of, Ruben says. Yeah, I get that. I get that he wants to take advantage of having a bit more time on the training ground and develop his team. Maybe we'll see a lot more of the academy players in and amongst the Manchester United training squad. Now it's smaller, a bit more room for the academy players to get used to playing with the first teamers. I think that's a good thing as well. Adam, people don't know Delap hasn't started in over a month. He would have scored more goals. It's a good point to make that. It's a good point to make that, Farnster. I feel like people forget like the qualities of him and are looking to the negatives because of where the club is at. Like, this is still a decent player. I've said all along, look, I would prefer two strikers. But I can only go off what's been reported and what's been said, and it does look like it is just going to be Delap, and that's their push, that's their sell. Like I said at the top of the show, United want Delap, and they're making him their number one priority, and that, I think, is what they hope is going to convince him to come into the club. Cunha and a strong centre forward who knows how to move will unlock defences. Cunha would love to run at defenders who stand off and hold the line. Add a smart striker, defences start unlocking. Yeah, is Delap smart enough for that? Manchester United's recruitment of him and the data analysis was about his runs that he made, so maybe that does add into that as well. Let's get some more quotes from Ruben. Someone has asked him about Bruno. Here we go. The last game, the team was without pressure. They performed quite well. Everybody wants the ball. The team has difficult moments, and in different moments, Bruno Fernandez takes responsibility. He's really important for us and really important for what we want to build with this team. Still bigging up the Bruno Fernandez side of things and bigging up what Bruno means to Manchester United. Again, like, if you are going to leave these questions and the answer to Ruben Amorim and what happens with Bruno Fernandez, then he's going to keep on saying that he wants to keep him. He needs him in his immediate future to survive as a manager, and that, I think, is where we're at with this. I do. And what we're talking about here, I feel, is that, again, I've said this before, Ruben in press conferences is just going to say the usual stuff. Ruben in press conferences is going to say that Manchester United need Bruno Fernandes. We need to get past this tour. Any talk of Bruno from Ruben or anyone else from Manchester United this week, I'm not paying any attention to. None at all. because it's only going to happen when this tour is done and Ruben's not answering in front of the media. He's going to give you nothing. He's going to give nothing away. All he's going to do is talk about the obvious, like he has done before. So I'm not paying any real attention to what Ruben says. Bruno has still got a decision to make, and like we have all said before, and like it's been reported, the situation with Bruno will develop. He will still have to make a decision, and he's thinking over this. Like, he would have shut it down earlier if he wasn't thinking about leaving United. I'm sorry, that's it. If the club say, like, we're happy to sell you, I think Bruno's gone. I really do. And yes, just to quickly, as we're talking about this, some people may have just joined in thinking we're on the usual in terms of time and schedule. We've gone earlier because of Ruben's press conference, but the top story was about Liam Delap. Just to clarify, there is no deal agreed for Liam Delap. There is nothing agreed at all. All it is Rob Dawson from ESPN saying the structure of a deal is there and agreed in principle if he decides to go to the club. Liam Delap has agreed a deal with United. He's agreed a deal with Everton. He's agreed a deal with Newcastle. He's agreed a deal with Chelsea. There is no agreement with Manchester United on their own for Liam Delap. It is not done. There is nothing finalised. So anybody saying that the deal is done or agreed is wrong. It's not happened, and we're still waiting for Liam Delap to make his decision. Just to clarify that and make sure that everybody is aware of what is happening. Ruben Amorim has also said a really tough season without trophies in the league. It's a really big club that is alive and alive, and things are changing. For some people, it's hard to understand and see, but I think we are improving as a team. That lack of goals punishes us in some games. If I have to choose a positive, it's that feeling in the stadium with the fans. That's the beginning of something. We've been playing on what he was talking about, I think, in his big speech there after the game. It was a quick turnaround straight on the plane after the game. We're all very excited to be over here. We don't get the opportunity to do this side of the world and see our fans. We got off the plane and hundreds of people were waiting to take pictures of us. Welcome to a pre-season at Manchester United, Ruben. Welcome. The target is to win the first game for us and not to be in the Champions League, but... not to be in the Champions League could be an advantage to perform well, to build that core, and we need for the future. So, win the first game in the Premier League is what Ruben Amorim is saying. Of course, you're bound to say that. Please keep your comments coming in regarding Liam Delap as well. This is a great debate this morning that I can see loads of people getting involved in. Super chat in from Ross. Thank you, mate. Can we get the money we need to fill the positions we need without selling Bruno? It is undeniable at this point. No. I think we need to sell Bruno to get every single position we need. That's the sad truth in it. We sell Garnacho, we get the 210s. Then we move on to the midfield, and then you're looking at selling Sancho. Obviously, Alvaro Fernandez's money coming in. Selling Rashford, selling Antony. If we sell Antony, Sancho, Rashford, we sell Garnacho. Obviously, we're moving Malacia on as well. We've got rid of all of the other wages. I think Manchester United can get another 10 and an 8. But I think that's where we're pushing it. I think we can then sell Bayindir and Vitek and bring in another goalkeeper. And that could be the 5 first-team players that Manchester United bring in. I think we need 6, personally. Minimum 6 in our first team. I would push in on maybe even another midfielder or a right wing-back, possibly. Look, I think Dorgu can play at right wing-back. You've got Leon coming in as well. We've got cover in Ahmad if necessary as well, if we're bringing in another 10. Like, if you're going to buy another 10, then Ahmad's going to be playing at right wing-back, innit? Let's just put this... We're going to put this out there, actually, right now. If United, like Romano has said, United are going to bring in Cunha, United are going to bring in Mbumo, surely that means that Bruno Fernandez's only position is at 8. And if we sell Bruno Fernandez, we're going to bring an 8 in anyway. But let's just say, for instance, we don't sell Bruno. You've got Cunha. You've got Mbumo. You still have Bruno Fernandez. I think Ahmad is going in at right wing back. You haven't got as many games to play. Your rotation isn't necessarily paramount. Like, you don't need it continuously, week in, week out, like we have this season. Ahmad will be a right wing-back next season if we bring in Mbeumo and Cunha. You're not going to play them players if you brought them in and spend over 100 million on 10s this summer. They're going to play. Ahmad's a right wing-back. It pretty much tells you that that's where he's going to play. I don't think United are going to go out and buy a right wing-back now. I don't. I think that is off. I think it's 2 10s, a 9, an 8 and a goalkeeper. I think that's United's priorities. The full spine of this side, near enough, is going to be changed. They will look at Aiden Heaven coming in and probably not think that they need to buy another centre-back because there isn't as many games. You've got Maguire, you've got Heaven, you've got Leacher, you've got Mazraoui, you've got Yoro, you've got Delap. My God, like, we don't need centre-backs. We need a keeper, which the talk is that Manchester United are going to be bringing the keeper in. Obviously, we said last night, Joan Garcia's 25 million. Manchester United also looking at Milinkovic-Savic, another player under 20 million as well. Like Martinez would be the dream, but it looks like United won't have the money to spend on him unless we do sell significant players as well. Like, who else is going to go and be sold? I've not even brought Dalot into the equation here as well in terms of what's going to happen with Manchester United. It's going to be really interesting because, like I said, if United are bringing in 2 10s, then Ahmad being pushed to right wing back. Where does Dalot play? He all of a sudden just falls back in the pecking order. So again, there you go. Does a decision need to be made there? It's weird, isn't it? Because like, you've got so many players at Manchester United now. I feel like we're in a position where we are seeing quite clear what the plan is, and that is that Ahmad won't be in at number 10 next season. That's how I read it anyway. Morning, everybody. Bruno does not fit in Amorim's system. Why he wants to keep him is a mystery to me. He's not an 8 period as a fan. As for a 10, Cunha is better. Amorim needs dynamic midfielders. Bruno is not it. Look, Bruno brings Amorim a lot, and Amorim will keep him. And he thinks he does fit in his system. Again, like, it's all opinions with us and what we think fits and what is going to work for Manchester United. But yeah, I don't think that Manchester United... Bruno fits in a system somewhere. The thing is, he's so versatile, he's a problem. I think that's the problem with Bruno Fernandez. He's his own enemy. Mount needs to take... Mount are needing to take advantage of opportunities. Mount's been talking as well. And Mount has said... I'm just going to run through some quotes now from the press conference. It was a quick turnaround, straight... that was Mount talking about, obviously, arriving in Malaysia. Anytime you play, you want to perform. As I said before, we have a big squad. We have a lot of young players that will get the opportunity to play. You want to help these young players, give them a little hint and things like that. Amorim on having 2 plans for the summer. This is an interesting one. Omar is here. He can explain better than me. We always prepare 2 plans, one with the Champions League, one without the Champions League. Without Champions League, we don't need a big squad. We can control the squad in a better way. Then we have to plan. Then we have a plan, that is to bring some new players, of course, but our big plan is to improve the team that we have, is to improve our academy. That is the future. It is going to change so much because we have financial fair play rules. We are not allowed to do much this summer. It's important to stick together. We are going to struggle. It is not going to be everything right away, but I see the team improving, and that is the most important thing. That is really going to, I think, dishearten a few United fans, that comment there. We can't do everything in one window. We are restrained by financial fair play. We are looking to improve the squad we've got and the players we've got and bring our academy in. That doesn't tell me that Man United are bringing in the 6 players that I think we actually need to change. This, to me, says, I think, 4/5 max, personally. I think that's what it is. He's going to try and bring the squad down. I think this is trying to balance finances and bring the right players in. I really do. Managing expectations around young players, Amorim says, I think that is an important thing, because I think one of the issues with youngsters is sometimes we push too much from the beginning. You have social media, all this pressure around young kids. I don't want to say any names. I believe in all of them, and like I said, you have surprises. This is a massive club. That is a big question in our club. Putting our kids on a pedestal, and that is an important thing to change, because we need to control that. And not bigging up the academy players too soon is what Ruben Amorim says there. Amorim on not needing a rest. It was important to finish the season. We needed to close that chapter. It's not fully behind us, because I have one row of English journalists, so I will rest from that when we finish the tour. I close that chapter. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I want to work to next season. I don't have that feeling to disconnect. I had the feeling to close the season, but now is the new season. I don't need rest. Ruben basically saying he's ready to go for the new season already. But just off the back of that comment there, do you feel like that is now telling us that Ruben Amorim is expecting fewer signings coming through from Manchester United this summer? Omar will explain it better, he says, like passing the buck to Omar Barada. Cheers, mate. But yeah, you explain why Manchester United can't bring in every single player they need. They're talking about like bringing the squad size down. They're talking about bringing in the exact players we need. Again, it's all down to crucial recruitment. If you're only going to bring in 4 players, then players have to be absolutely perfect for what is necessary this season. And I can see why they would try and push the Premier League proven players on this as well. I really do. I see that, and I see why they feel a need to make these players Premier League proven. Lee from Cape says, morning Adam, would you rather want a jack of all trades or a master of one? Have a great day, buddy. No, mate, you stole my line there. That's exactly what I hate, versatile players. I do. I'm not saying Bruno is the ultimate versatile player. I like master of one trade. I don't like jack of all. I would like to know when a player's name is on the team sheet where he's playing. I know where he's playing, basically. So when a team is read out right now, if you put a Man United team out right now, you couldn't tell me where Mazraoui's playing for definite. So basically, when the team comes out, you get 11 players. Forget the squad positions and where they line them up on the pitch. 11 players. I like to know exactly in my head where every single one of them 11 players is going to play on the pitch. That's my master of one trade vision. Jack of all trades, like right now you could get a lineup where you don't know where Mazraoui's going to play. You don't know where Bruno's going to play. You don't know where Ahmad's going to play. You don't know where Dallow's going to play. There's players all over the place. Like Mainu, where's he going to play? We need to settle. We need to settle the squad down. We need to find a way to put this team together and work on consistency of them players being in them positions and mastering them positions. It's not going to work if we're changing players all over the place all of the time. Pick a position where you want them to play. Bring in the players where you want to improve and stick with it. That's what I think Ruben's alluding to. I think he wants to get a settled side. I think he wants a settled team. And that, I think, is massively important for Manchester United. I do. And that will take us far in the Premier League, because we can work on that then week in, week out, in between Premier League games, and master learning what Ruben wants. And this is what I think he means by saying it's a benefit to not be in the Champions League. Too many games gives you less time to work on training and work on what's necessary to get out of your system. Quick one, by the way, everyone. Thank you so much. 500 live likes on the show this morning. We have run over an hour. It is an extended show today because of the press conference. I wanted to get through all of the news. Then the press conference was delayed, as it always bleeding is. And we're pretty much near the end of the presser right now. Nothing real much come out of it. It's been one of them happy press conferences. A bit of a presentation beforehand. Things that needed to be presented. First time we've been to Malaysia in 9 years. Jose Mourinho was the last manager to take Manchester United on tour to Malaysia. That seems like a long time ago. And he despised that tour, didn't he? He did. But That pretty much finishes our show, everybody. There's not much else to get through. All I'm asking you to do now is get your comments in below. Talk to me about Tony. Talk to me, not Tony, Jesus, why did I even bring him up? Talk to me about Liam Delap. Talk to me about all of the players that we've discussed this morning for Manchester United. United do look like it's Delap, and that's it in terms of a striker. 2 10s, maybe an 8. That could possibly be it from what Ruben Amorim has said there in that press conference today. Is that enough? Get into the comment section below, everybody, on that one. Thank you so much. That is our morning show done, everybody. Thank you, mods. Fantastic job in there yet again. Anybody who's new, thank you for joining us. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, please, everyone. Obviously, give the video a like as well on the way out. Let's get them likes up.